Um, Guys, I am so glad to see your faces. Everybody's got some funky, kinky lighting. Aubrey's in like the red room of pain from 50 Shades of Grey. Brenda is like, hey, Brenda's gone like Wicked Witch of the West. I'm melting. Like everybody's got funky coloring tonight. But all that aside, I'm so excited for you guys to hear from Tulin. I didn't give you any heads up, and quite honestly, Tulin's probably wondering, like, she didn't even ask me for my stats or my bio. I didn't want it because I want you guys to come in to this call, like, with Tulin the way that I know her, which is like, as this really kick-ass person. Like, I feel like all the stuff and the titles and all that stuff that Beachbody gives us is like so not representative of what we do or who we truly are. And that, who she is and who she like truly is why I wanted her here tonight. Not because she's totally kicking ass and taking names in this business, which just for the record, she is. I don't even know. You're in like top 20 or something ridiculous right now. She's just crushing it. But Tulin and I think first met in 2013, 14, when when we were kind of in an experimental thing, and experimental thing didn't go so well, so we left. And you don't even know, like, we haven't ever even talked about it, but we'll talk about it some other time.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. Was it a special group you were hand selected for?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, Tulin is personally sponsored by Jimmy Nelson, who I know you guys know because a lot of you are in, many of you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But anyways, I'm not going to talk anymore. I just told Tulin, like, this is a really casual conversational call, and I just wanted her to come and share herself with us because honestly, when she speaks, I listen, I love her, I adore her, and I just wanted to share her with you guys. And that's it. That's the only intro I can give her.
I'm going to need what was it? The special room? What's the red room called? The naughty room? What'd you call it?
The red room of pain or something.
Red room of pain, which is very Scorpio of you. I don't know. That'd probably be the room I would pick. Anyway, sorry guys. So if you're gonna get me, you're gonna get me raw. You guys are not easily offended, are you? You okay with?
They deal with me. Listen.
Okay. That's. Oh my gosh, it's very true. Gosh, she makes me blush, y'all. I'm like, whoo! No, just kidding. Anyway, except I would take Amanda's backboard and I put it in the red room.
Yeah, right. It's great. So it kind of goes with.
I'll be perfect. So I'm kind of combining, and then with Jackie's hairstyle. So, anyways. Anyways, you guys, so I would love, you guys can like jump in with a comment, or if you guys have a question, we can interact on this call. I really do want to keep it very, very casual. I'm proud of my accolades, but I'm not my accolades because before I ever reached those things, it all was the result of hard work. It was the result of a lot of failures. It was the result of overcoming a lot of feelings of worth. Wow, Amanda. Let me ask, do you something?
What happened?
Oh, is that you? I don't know where it was. How many of you guys are aware of my actual, like the story that was covered by Beachbody? Does anybody know that story? Do you guys know who I am? Okay. No, some of you guys don't. Some of you guys do. I won't be offended because nobody knows who I am, but maybe one or two of you kind of know who I am. Okay, so my story in a nutshell is I had a resume and, we built an amazing life. And, I've been through tough times. I'm an anorexic. I know it's really tough to notice and figure that all out. I was an anorexic as a teen. I had very little self-worth, abusive household, but at the same time a super loving household, which made things really confusing. And just I've been on my own since I was 16 years old. I dealt with a lot of hormonal issues, PCOS, couldn't talk about it, went through all sorts of barbaric treatment before they finally diagnosed it. I had male pattern balding. I mean, you name it. I've had extreme weight gain. I mean, and so when we came in, I felt like I have struggled my entire life. And instead of having struggles, I was my struggles. Like my struggles defined me. Like it's so weird to tell my story now or my symptoms because it's so not who I am anymore because I don't define them, but they are things I had or habits I had. Have you guys listened to the 5-second rule? Okay. So, you know, I know Amanda's all into personal development. Yeah. Okay. So Mel Robbins says that beautifully. She's like, you have a habit of, you are not. My husband has multiple sclerosis. You know, multiple sclerosis doesn't have him. But for a long, long time, it was really important for people to know my story because I needed to explain why I was in the state that I was in. So you really need to know all the details. And I was like the person in the movie Airplane. And like everybody was like, you know, like overdosing and all, you know, not trying to make fun of those kinds of things, but you know, it's a satire. So, you know, they're on the airplane. This guy's just telling this super negative story all the time. And everybody's just like, oh my gosh, please get me away from this person on the airplane. I was that person. And I always found other people that would, if I had a struggle, I would find that person in the room that had the same struggle that I did. So I can keep myself away from being my best. See, it's valid. And while all the feelings that I've been through and the struggle I've been through are very, very valid, I realized I was giving my power away to everyone else. And then boom, another thing. And I probably, since I started in Beachbody, I've had a million things go wrong, including I nearly lost my husband last year to a massive double infection. We've had everything that could go wrong, go wrong. We thought we were building an amazing business and like have to start all over. I mean, it was one thing after another, but I was constantly having to practice. So when we came into Beachbody, I came into Beachbody over 350 pounds, sliding into 400 pounds. I don't know how much I gained. To kind of give you an idea, that was me at 200 pounds. And I was a plus size model. You might be going, well, that's not plus size. That's plus size. I'm not having that argument with you because plus size was also about strong, empowered women. Okay. Not versus what we keep doing and adding this negativity to it, which I don't because it gave me a voice and self-love. Okay. So when I came into this, I had nothing and I was miserable. I was angry. My husband had a business partner who couldn't handle success, threatened to take the life of 40 employees, including ourselves, on Christmas Eve. We sent the employees home. We changed the locks. We changed the code between, my husband's the largest media seller on eBay and Amazon, by the way, at the time. So life was good. And changed the locks, called the police. The police won't show up unless he shows up with a firearm. Barricaded ourselves in our place and waited. And because we could hear the warehouse doors were like aluminum, like, you know what I mean? To have that metal sound. So, and it would, because it was so quiet, nobody was there, any little sound, we would know that he was there. And I looked at my husband. I said, if you need to shut this whole thing down, I support you. And he had to shut it down to protect us. The man is now a convicted felon. I have forgiven him. I think we all make mistakes. I've met some incredible, it's very interesting. I've met some incredible people who are convicted felons who have found the other side and found light and bright and are now helping other people. So, but for a long, long time, I was really empowered by the fact that the guy got his, he got his, and lost everything. Literally, we're being chased out of our house. Like the sheriff was coming at any point. We had backed our car into the garage. I mean, this is from like one end to the other. There's like a whole bunch of story between, but to not bore you guys. I remember our car was backed into the garage. We packed what was left. Okay. So I left some, when you talk about name brands like back then, and you're going to be like, well, tough life. Well, we had earned it. I left Manolo Blahniks behind. I left Bogota bags behind. If I couldn't sell it, and I put my entire life on the yard, in the yard, right? I set up like a boutique, and that's how if somebody was willing to buy it, I was willing to sell it. That's what we did. But if it was no more value to us. And I remember we're sitting in the car. Our weight has increased. My husband is now using a walker. He's now lost his ability to walk due to the stress of the entire situation, lawsuits, this and that. Our car is backed in the garage so we can leave early in the morning. The battery freaking dies. The car is stacked. If you ever watched the video that Beachbody did on our story, you can see my little son, and all you see is his crying face because he just has He doesn't know what's going on. He has all the stuff packed up around him. And our car died. And I had to go find a neighbor at 7 a.m. Go, oh, somebody, can you help me out? I found somebody to help us out. And we were out. And I remember my husband and I looked in the rearview mirror and go, it's behind us now. But it wasn't. There were still so many layers of rock bottom. And I had nothing. I had a bad attitude. I was angry. I was over 350 pounds. I was using food for emotional abuse. Healthy food was too expensive, all those things. I was in such a deep, dark place. I took a job that was making $2 an hour. I was working 18-hour days and 48 hours straight at the end of every single month, doing whatever I could to make money. There was always yelling and screaming. We lived in a hotel room. We were finally able to get a little apartment for ourselves. We were on the verge of eviction every single month. There was mice. There was critters. There was just things. And it was such a difficult place to be. And I thought that our story for our children was going to be, they had a really good life at one time. They went through some difficult times, but you know what? They did the best that they could for us, much like you would hear somebody speak about maybe their great-grandparents as they went through the Depression, as an example. I thought that would be our story. And I remember that I couldn't walk. I literally couldn't get off the couch. Our couch, any furniture we had in our house was either something left behind by someone that you could pick up off the street or garage sale. And while there's nothing wrong with it, when your couch looks like a cat has just taken its claws and went down the vinyl all the way down, our house was so sad, but we were trying so hard. But I was blaming everyone, and I was looking at my husband, I'm like, fix it. I was unwilling to get in the driver's seat of my life. I was unwilling to get in the driver's seat of my success. And I was unwilling to make change because none of it was possible because of all these other external things. And they needed to fix. And I was the product of these things. So they weren't just things that happened to me, they defined me. And when you lose everything, you go through difficult times, people have a terrible opinion of you. And for some reason, when they see that open wound, they think that they can pour salt in it and somehow it's going to help you. And what I realized was all these people have opinions and advice, and they'd never been where we'd been. And they'd never gone through what we'd gone through. And everything they were telling us, we just felt lower and lower and lower and lower. And when I tell you we were broke, I mean, all the silver change was used in the house. All the pennies were used. Anything of value had been sold. I watched the car that we had, we were barely trying to hold on to, get repossessed in front of our house when I was supposed to be in Los Angeles to take this $2 an hour job. By the way, let me just tell you this. Nobody was paying me $2 an hour. I took on to build this thing, somebody else's dream, the position of 5 different people, including creative director, executive marketing director, art director. So I was carrying some pretty social media manager, some pretty heavy titles and making $2 an hour because I was living off the commissions that I made on the sales side, because I also handled all the ad sales. Okay. So I took all those things on so I can at least create an environment that could sell, right? I was killing myself. My husband was trying to figure a way. He feels terrible because it's his fault we're in this position. And frankly, it is because the business, what the hell? So he bears that responsibility, and it is now manifesting in his body, and his MS is just keeps twisting and turning, and it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, to where that his desire to fight for his life anymore was waning. So a really tough place. And when I started with Beachbody, my husband did P90X on his hands and knees in the hotel room. I would eat Chinese food, a McDonald's Coke, because we all know if we used to drink soda, the McDonald's got it right. I don't know what it was. And I get mad because he'd be doing P90X on his hands and knees because his body couldn't hold up his body weight because his legs weren't working anymore. And I would hurry up because I wanted to watch trashy television. And it wasn't even my character before, but it became my escape, or it became my habit. And he really wanted to encourage me, and he really wanted me to drag me along with this. And I wasn't going to listen to him. And he told me about Shakeology. And I'm like, I'm not paying that much for a magic bag of powder. We can't even feed ourselves. Hello? And you want to pay how much? Are you crazy? You have officially gone off the deep end. I was angry. angry, angry, angry. So clearly I had no interest in Beachbody and I had no interest in doing any of the work attached with Beachbody, including working on myself, because that would mean I can no longer blame anyone else, but I had no one to blame myself and I had to get in the driver's seat and I was unwilling. I wanted everybody else to drive my car. So I had a reason to sit and stay fat. And by the way, I'm 270 pounds, so I'm still technically fat, right? So fat, broke. I don't have a problem with the word fat. You don't shake your head. Fat is an appropriate adjective, and I am not offended by it, okay? Just like if I said you were thin, it's an appropriate adjective, okay? So there's nothing negative about it. But that's where I was. And when my husband quietly inspired me on this journey. So finally we decided to get Shakeology. I said, fine, we'll get it. How many servings? 30. Well, fine, we'll get 2 and we'll starve, okay? By the way, as my husband's getting in shape, I totally think that my husband is going to leave me for a petite blonde, that he's going to fall in love with a petite blonde. And he actually did, because my first challenge pack was Turbo Fire and it was Chalene Johnson. So listen, be very specific, like where you focus, energy will follow, right? Right? I just handed him the bubble blonde that was perfect for him, went here. And I looked at that and I went, I'm not working out with those people. What do they know about me? I just bought the challenge pack to starve on Shakeology and then return it, lick the inside of it, crumple it back and take it back. Oh, by the way, did I mention that we had sold the last of my wedding ring? We'd already sold the diamonds in it. And gold prices were really high at that point. There was no holding on to the setting. Platinum, what did I say? Gold. Oh, sorry. It was platinum. Okay. Prices were high. And we used that money to take care of a lot of things. And that's how we bought our challenge packs. I still don't have a wedding ring to this day. So while our business continues to grow and be successful, it's kind of an interesting reminder to us of not having one, although I will have one again, but not having one reminds us of the sacrifices we're willing to make for our family. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. I'm just telling you it's what we did. And I actually don't talk about that publicly because I don't want people to think you have to sell your wedding ring to get a challenge pack, you know? So he quietly inspired me. We got this little apartment, barely. And I couldn't walk up the steps. Every ounce of oxygen left my lungs. My world had turned gray. And I didn't have enough oxygen to go through my windpipe to actually be able to tell my kids, shush, or give me a second. I couldn't talk. I couldn't walk. By the way, last night, because we're in the 80-day obsession, I walked up the stairs like a champ with, you know how you like, I will carry every grocery bag, like up my arms and like upright, like freaking RoboCop up those stairs. And I'm like, yeah. And I remember those stairs. As a matter of fact, Sean T and I took a picture on the top of those stairs. That's what started me out. I started with insanity because what we had. And it was about halfway through before I took in Shakeology. I bought it from Jimmy because, well, he was a nice guy that's just very kind to me online and was encouraging, but he never tried to like, hey, by the way, if you need accountability or motivation, just join my group. Like he didn't make assumptions because I'm looking at a big girl. Clearly she wants to lose weight. I just wanted to get healthy. I just wanted to be able to breathe. And I couldn't deny what Shakeology did for me. And I was only able to do about 2 to 3 minutes of insanity when I started. I would sway side to side. I could only raise my knee a couple of inches because every time I raised my knee, my belly that was 6 inches down my thigh would then proceed to get closer to my knee, and it would push up through my middle that was about 30 inches larger than it is now, through my chest. I carried a lot of weight in my back and into my neck, and my neck used to be out to here and would make me suffocate. A 2 to 3 inch knee raise. And I did that to myself because that's how I dealt with the situation. And never in a million years would I ever do an MLM thing. I was not coachable. And when we decided to finally get the challenge pack, at the very last moment, I decided that I would be the person to sign up. My husband to sign up through me because, of course, I want the commission to roll up because it's money. And I figured out a way to do this in spite of my position in the plus size industry. Nobody knew what was going on in my life. So it was all a facade and no support. I was told what I was going to do was bad for plus size women. So I was fighting 2 industries. A health and fitness industry that wouldn't represent me and show my body in motion and told me it was what you didn't want to be and it was your worst nightmare. And the plus size industry that was now telling me what I do is bad for plus size women. So everything got distorted. Like both places were just like, are you guys off your freaking rockers, right? both of them now are attacking plus size women in completely different ways. Please let me remind you, that's not how the industry started. And that was just a few who were trying to do that because they had an agenda. There's money, honey. On my journey with no following, no anything, I began to inspire people. I didn't know how to sell a challenge pack. First time I hit Success Club was kind of by accident. And Jimmy says, do a video. I'm like, yeah, I'll do a video. But I want to make sure in that video that everybody knows that I am not committing to Success Club on a monthly basis at all. I was not all the way in. I was not going to coach. I only signed up for the discount. Did you hear what I said? I signed up with the discount with every intention of returning the 30-day, taking advantage of the 30-day money back guarantee. Never did. All these years later, we've built a 6-figure income. Insert Beachbody disclaimer here. Success is a rocky road. We're still in the second apartment in the same complex from the one I just told you about. We are still rebuilding. When you rebuild your life, there's still things people got to be able to trust you. We have to rebuild our credit. We've had to rebuild our finances, everything. People still don't trust us yet. So we're still stuck here for a little bit, but give us time. We'll get out of here. And I challenged everything that was given to me in this business. As a matter of fact, I hit diamond. I fell in and out of diamond for 2 years, 1 month, and 14 days. So let me just let me just give you the other side of that. I'm currently number 31 in the company. I built a 6-figure income. I'm a 6-star diamond, SC10 legend. And I was the first to show a plus size body in motion and modifications when they didn't exist when I started with Insanity. I have made an impact on 2 industries. Broken, broke, and homeless, and challenged everything there was that Beachbody had to offer. I was unwilling to take the steps. And the only reason why I sat at diamond for so long and fell in and out of it is because I didn't respect the rank. I didn't respect what was happening, that I was inspiring people. And by helping other people, in turn, it was helping my family. And then I was able to make a bigger impact until one day I realized I wouldn't talk about the coaching opportunity. I wouldn't even talk to people on a regular basis. I would claim that I was doing stuff and, I'd kind of, well, nobody wants to buy and everybody's broke and I'm really, really busy. And I had all the same things. I remember at one point, Jimmy said, hey, I'm going to recruit 100 people this year. And I go, hey, I'm going to do that too. And I started talking about coaching and I had an epiphany. Jimmy handed me something. He didn't call me every morning to make sure I drank my Shakeology. He really wanted me to build this business. He knew I could make an impact in it, but I didn't believe I could make an impact in it. And I held myself back from my own greatness. I said how important my family was, right? I sat at Diamond for 2 years, 1 month, and 14 days fighting the process. If I understood a little sooner, my family would have suffered a little less. So where's the responsibility? On my husband to fit the food? On my husband or on me? It's on both of us. But I was unwilling to do the work. And so when he said that, I realized that he's given me an opportunity to make a difference in my life. And by not talking to other people about Shakeology or the 30-day discount or the coaching opportunity, which, by the way, I tell everyone about. Everyone. Oh, did I mention that I average 100 SC a month and I'm one of the top recruiters in Beachbody and I'm a plus size woman? Oh, I didn't mention that part? Yeah. Stumbled and bumbled until I figured it out. And then I realized that I wasn't helping contribute to my team. I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't have a lot to give. And by the way, I don't know if you can see this. This is how my son listens to me doing lives.
Hello.
He hears every time I go live, he sits down and he listens to the story. How amazing is that? I cannot even begin to tell you how much these struggles have inspired a family. 100 SC average a month. Do you know what I realized about the 100 SC average a month? That I was full of shit about helping as many people as I possibly can because I put a cap on myself. And when I realized and I said, hey, put your money where your mouth is. How does that happen? I talk to a lot of people because too many people in this world desperately need the version that we are right now. And people say, how do you manage that? I am not here to manage people. I'm here to help people, and I'm here to contribute to my team, which includes people that are in my upline, downline, people I know, people that I don't know, because my efforts not only help my family, they give back to a community of people that makes a difference in their lives so they can go and live their dream. And by respecting my rank, I realized it was the greatest thank you that I could give to my upline coach. Weird, right? Like, what took me so long? Because I wasn't into personal development. I couldn't even get an Audible, honestly. But then I realized something else, that affordability was always the problem, but yet I was always figuring out a way to go spend $15 on the dollar menu at McDonald's. Affordability was fear. And even broken, homeless, I could afford the Shakeology when I finally saw the value in it. And I only saw the value in it when I actually utilized it myself. Discount coach, every intention to return, not what people visualize as being a coach, all the reasons to not be successful. And there was nobody at the time that I could find that was boldly standing up in the body as they stood that day. Everybody was waiting until they got to a point. And it was because of those reasons that I became successful in this, because I was willing to fight. And I realized I can make a difference in my family, and I can give back to my coaching team by doing the very best that I can. And when I do that, they do the same thing. That helps me build my dream. That helps my family have their dream, helps me build other people's dreams, that I contribute. My 100 SC points a month makes a difference in my upline coach's life, in my coach's life. So much so that I tell them, you don't want to come to me with little questions that you can answer yourself, because what you want me doing is spending 70 to 80% of my time building this, because I'm here helping build your dream by contributing. It is family. We lock arms and we cross the line together. Now, understand that has been something I've grown into. All these, I think in June or something like that, I recruited 60 coaches. Oh my God, how do you manage all that? We're not here to manage people. And then some people think, well, you're about helping people. You're not really helping people. I call BS on that, because I got better at it over time, and I have a system. And if I'm truly about helping people, then I better figure out a way to be able to help more people. And putting these limiting beliefs and putting limits on the number of SC points, the number of people you can help on a monthly basis, it is selfish and bullshit. Sorry. Just my opinion. Just my opinion, because I was there too. So, you guys kind of hearing where I'm coming from? Do you understand the's nothing that I'm doing?
My
that
pen ran out of ink. I'm like writing so
Oh, are you? Here, I got a pen for you. Here,
hold on. I gotta switch pens. This is amazing.
This is, I didn't come in as a founder. I didn't come in as a beginning. I didn't come in with any knowledge. I felt like I didn't utilize my background on my resume. I was actually a branding expert. That was my background, marketing and branding. I now call myself the anti-branding expert, because I'm so about transparency and authenticity. Everybody wants the best lighting and this and that. I'm like, you know what? That's not real life. That's not real life. I want to be transparent and truthful. And what I realize is that my message and what I have to offer in the coaching that I have isn't for everyone. And quite frankly, I'm not here to help everyone. I should also add, a lot of people have some letters behind their name. Okay. I think that's dangerous, because I'm going to simplify it. I don't. I have LIFE behind my name, like all of us do. I help people with a challenge pack. There's no one way to Beachbody. There's no one way, whether you're discount coaches or not discount coaches, but I do challenge you to remember how you started as a Beachbody coach, and did you come in ready to go and like and off and did everything your coach said to do? I challenge that, because probably 9.999 out of 10 did not. We evolved over time. We maybe were a customer, maybe turned into a discount coach, maybe dipped our toes in it, maybe did a coach fundamentals, maybe say we're doing stuff, but we're not. And somehow we think that our coach doesn't know. There's all this stuff that we do. And then there's like your coach, reborn date, where like you come back from summit and you're like, I'm in. And then there's the part that you move from the talk to the action, little actions that build up. And I call that your coach born, badass born date, where you're actually putting actions behind your words. Because the majority of us majority of us coaches are talkers and stuck in the fluff. So case in point, I pay particular attention to the kind of personal development I need to do. I stay out of training. I Again, there's no right way to, I hope I'm not saying anything that is like against what Amanda shares. This is just a perspective, okay? I do not overtrain my coaches. I do not overtrain my coaches. If my coaches want training, they better show activity in the basics. Otherwise, all I'm doing is showing you all this amazing stuff, more busy work. It is busy work. It is not helping people change lives or move the needle forward. I had to have that conversation with myself because I was a person that needed to know everything about the back office. I need to know what happened after Emerald. I need to understand this elite thing. I wasn't even getting 2 SC points on a regular basis, and I need to know what was going on with elite. You don't need to know about that. I sat in the nosebleed and I watched people at Summit, barely able to make it to Summit, barely because it was in Vegas, so we can actually drive. I think we had an extra $100. My husband could not, he actually regained much of his ability to walk thanks to Beachbody and Shakeology. And we do very much credit Shakeology. Not making any claims, but we know our truth. And I remember we went to Vegas. We had very little money. We had meal prepped, cooked everything, did as cheap as we possibly could, had enough for gas. I think to be able to pick up T25, maybe it was launching. And then all of a sudden we got to Vegas and my husband needed a wheelchair. And we had no money and no credit card. Thankfully, the hotel just allowed us to use this wheelchair that literally was falling apart and everybody kept jumping in front of it. And I was like in tears, but I kept plugging through and I kept plugging through. You guys, I have every reason, too much training, not moving the needle forward is what keeps people away from their business. The reason why I'm able to hit 100 SC points is because I actually go out and I help people get started. And I work, in my opinion, with some of the most difficult women. Really broken, hormonally destroyed, massive amounts of weight gains, self-worth in the toilet. And they are physically the representation of what the health and fitness industry wants to say is your worst nightmare. Do you want to look like this? Or do you want to look like this? Well, how the freak are you going to get to this if you hate on what you were doing? You're just going to continue abusing it. So I just found that I really like staying in the busy. It kept me away from building my business. So what did I do? I began to understand what rank represented. I know some people say don't chase rank. Like rank's not a big deal. But you know what rank and elite and all that stuff tells me? Those things can't happen unless I'm actually doing the do. It is an actual measure of me doing the work. It's a measure. It's like blood work. If I go and get blood work done and it tells me I'm a type 2 diabetic, am I going to say the blood work lies? Blood work doesn't lie. It doesn't. And neither do those points in those rank as long as you're leading from activity. And so what I found was, and I do this with my team, and I had to give you an idea. I explained to my team where it was coming from. I said, we're going to hit 10-star diamond by August 23rd. I explained to them where it's coming from. There's no overcoaching. They already knew that. This is something we've had in our team. And I expected maybe 2 or 3 people to show up. I had 30 people show up saying they were committed to diamond. And they had already gone over a no BS phone call before that. Like I thought I kicked a bunch of people out of the car. And all of a sudden I have all these people going, I believe I can because of you. And all these things at Shakeology and all these things about the coaching and all the things where I forced them to get on their own 2 feet in fitness, showed them what they can do in business. And not one of them on that call came into this to do the business, but they fell in love with what it is that we had to do. And I tell them there won't even be new coaching content on fitness in my group until I can see that you are practicing the information you have going on right now. Progress is earned. Progress is earned. I said this on the live today, and I don't know if it's going to make sense. I don't even know if I have my freaking pen. This is what I look at. Difficulties. So like you make progress and it's like a stone, right? Like you're building a wall. Struggles are like the mortar or the cement or whatever you put between the stones to keep it all together. You can't build new layers unless you practice those new habits you're building. And you can only practice those new habits you're building by putting in activity. And once you practice it for a while, you can build another layer. Then you can take in new coaching. Then you can go new layer. See, I began to understand all the different aspects of the business except how the other coaches build. Hadn't gotten there yet. In the past few months, I have. As a matter of fact, last year I was one of those coaches, and it wasn't because of other MLMs and things like that. But I had a couple of women on my team who decided my husband was dying in the hospital to turn a bunch of coaches against us, tell them to quit, that they were quitting our team. And I helped them develop their brands, by the way, that they were quitting our teams to quit on me and to be a part of a 60-day campaign. Mm-hmm. Now Coach Caleb has them. Anyways, so yeah, they quit my team, told other coaches to quit, and I rebuilt my entire company and hit elite 5-star elite, hit it by exactly the number of points. And I walked across those stage in front of those women this year. Not with revenge, but with strength, because I wasn't the right coach for them and they weren't the right coaches for me. By the way, I never sent them to compliance. Because I did some pretty shitty things in my life too. And I learned from it. It's true. It's true. Was this helpful? I really came from my heart.
Oh, I don't know. I have like 4 pages of notes. I need hydrate for my hand. I have access. I'm so special. I have access to Tulin at all times. I'm just kidding. You guys do too. But since we have her, I want you guys, if Tulin, if you're okay to stay on for a little longer, can I ask you some questions?
Yeah, I got till 7:30. So you guys ask me questions or we can go back and forth. There is nothing off limits. Even if you don't agree with something I've said and you feel really strongly, I'm open to healthy debate, or at least tell you why I feel differently about it, because I've had some really strong feelings when I started in this. So
seriously, nobody has questions. Come on, you guys are not.
Y'all afraid? Come on, y'all.
I have questions.
I knew you would, because you got great hair. Okay, say it.
How do you do that? That's like a huge scale. 100 SC, and your system is what? Bare bones basics.
Bare bones basics. I'm highly disorganized. Now, my husband does do this with me full time now. Okay. But I was doing 100 SC before that, not as regularly. As a matter of fact, I got burnt out. So we now build this together. Okay. So, but there's another end to that. In order for us to build this together, we have to quickly take our business to another level. Because I should tell you that we took on $100,000 in debt last year because we were uninsured when he got sick with the sepsis. Yeah. Okay. We couldn't afford insurance yet. We just weren't there yet. And then it got nailed. $100,000 in debt. And we weren't afraid anymore because of Beachbody. I'm on a call, son. Okay. So how did I do that? You know, I'm gonna challenge you. You focus on the 100 SC. You didn't focus on the steps that it took me to get there. Do you hear what I said? Go ahead, Jack.
No, that's what I'm asking. The steps to get there.
That's what I did. You guys, the more I stayed in the fundamentals, talking to more people, following up with them, getting a whole ton of no's and some atomic no's. I mean, like atomic no's. One of the things that really, really helped me, and I literally sing this woman's praises all the time, is Overcoming Objections, Part 4 and 5 by Barbie Decker, who's now Kalev, but Barbie Decker on YouTube. My coach introduced me to that, and I plugged it in my ears, and I would listen to it, and it spoke my language in the way that she was talking about helping people. And that was really cool because this year we really connected at Summit. We've actually had some calls back and forth with each other, which is so neat because she really impacted my business. And that really helped me to overcome the objections. And then I also remember where I started. So I moved away from thinking, well, everybody struggles with money. Everybody's going to have an affordability issue. They don't see the value in this. When somebody says no, I dig right into the no and I find their fear. I tell them flat out, what are you afraid of? And I ask them, are they willing to trust me for 30 days? They have a money back guarantee. They don't even need my help. I have a woman today that bought a challenge pack on July 17th. I can see how much coaching she's done. Said it's just not for me. I guarantee you she didn't have any Shakeology. I guarantee you she didn't drink it. She's already returning it. The temptations go, why? Why are you returning it? Blah, blah, blah. And you go, oh, but you don't care. She you get 2 more SCs. Yeah, I will get 2 more SCs because I believe in myself and I believe in this product. But I told her that if it's not for you, it takes a 5-minute phone call and nobody's going to question your reasons for leaving. And I honored that. Mm-hmm. And I honored that. And sometimes I wonder, is that right or wrong? I'm like, nope, you're just honoring what you said. And she said, you had said to me to at least give you a heads up. So we're good. Call Coach Relations. That's it. They're not going to quit. She can return her challenge back. I'm sitting at 30 SC right now, which is actually low for me at this time of year. This time of month, I should say. 5 weeks, you guys, I crawled under a cover because we got hit so hard about this move and it shot me right back to our broken homeless days. And I had to turn and look at my kids and say, I can't do this for you. I missed my bonus by 10 PV. People wouldn't rent to us because we still had our eviction. And I made a promise to my kids by July of this year, we would move out of here. Up until several weeks ago, we had no furniture in this house. I had a broken couch. But you're successful. You're earning a 6-figure income. What does the road to success and rebuilding yourself look like? It looks like a broken couch and it looks like a dining room table with one chair. That's what it looks like. It looks like a fridge that barely keeps things warm. You know what we did? And I had to look at my kids and say, I can't do this for you. I can't make this happen for you, which destroyed me. And for 5 weeks, I barely worked my business. And I hit the first month like 40 SC, the second month like 35 SC. But oh my gosh, you still did good. I did not live to my potential. And I broke. And I had to rebuild myself. And guess what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to do that a bunch of other times. And you know what? That needed to happen because that forced us to adult on our finances and get the advice and take the actions that we needed to take. To tell our kids we need to come in together. My oldest son is now helping us with this business. So we just have this conversation right now. So he'll be working with us a few hours a day. This is a family business and we will get this through. And we went and furnished the whole damn house because we had to take on our little apartment, which is super tiny. We moved out of our office so our kids can have separate rooms because I have a 17-year-old and a 9-year-old that's been rooming together for the past, 7 years or whatever it's been. Moved out of the office, moved our office out here, bought some furniture, this couch, which is way too big for this living room, but I love seeing my kids sink into it. And there's four chairs around that table. Do you know what happened? I didn't honor what we had. I did not treat this place well, much like I didn't treat my body well or speak kindly of it. And I didn't come from a place of gratitude. And who the hell is going to rent to me if I'm not going to be grateful and care for this like our home? And that's what we did. That's what the road to success looks like. That's how I get 100 SC, because I never want to look at my kids again and say, I can't make it happen. It broke me. But I picked back up in 5 weeks. In the past, it took me years. Progress.
Go ahead, Aubrey.
I mean, okay, so I know you told us not to
Go for
concentrate on the steps, but I have to ask this question. For having like 100 SC for however many months, or that being an average, surely you're no longer working your warm market and you're working a cold market, or are you working a cold market? I guess what I'm asking is, like, how much are you spending money on ads? If you are spending money on ads, how much money are you spending on ads, or is that not even a piece of your puzzle?
Okay, so I didn't have a warm market. Nobody wants to hang out with a broken homeless family. Nobody did, and I pushed people away. So I didn't approach my warm market. All of them are cold. I put my journey online. I remained very, very authentic. I ran ads, and I'm going to go on to the story. I ran ads once about 3 years ago, and I took my like page from 1,000 to 2,000. It was like some Shalene Johnson, Smart Success or whatever. I think it was Smart Success at the time. And I couldn't afford it. I had a $250 debt to Facebook for 2 years. Okay. Maybe it was 4 years ago. Literally. I don't know. I think it was like 4 years ago, until we could finally put the money together to do that. I do run ads from time to time. They are very authentic. I do not push to challenge groups in them. I push to them to come to my Facebook group. However, ready for your minds to be blown. My videos are so authentic and real that when I run the ads, I will get 1,000 new likes on my Facebook page and 300 new subscribers on my YouTube a day. That sounds awesome, right?
Where are you?
It's not.
Videos?
It's not. And I'll tell you why. Those are 1,000 new people or 2,000, because I'll usually run ads for a couple days at a time, who have no idea what my page is about, who have no idea, because I'm on a journey. My social media is my home. And if my shoes are outside the front of my door, you damn well better take your shoes off or put the blue booties on. If you're unwilling to honor my house, you are not a guest in my home. The people who like my page are a guest in my home. And in my home, we have rules. We do not body shame any bodies. We don't speak negatively about ourselves. We are there to be positive and uplifting. And if I ran the ads like that all the time, I'd have a couple million followers. What does that do? Do the math. If I gained 1,000 new people a day in 1 year's time, if that was my average, and of course it varies, right? But just say 1,000 new people a day, that's almost 500,000 people a year, almost. What am I going to do to those people? But you could be getting 300-400 SC points. I could. However, I have to manage those people to tell them to be nice people. I'm not willing to do that. So the part you should listen to is, it's not about the number. It's about the quality, right? And that continues to grow. So the number of people you can help grows over time. What I find with most Beachbody people, coaches, they have a task list. They complete that task list. They have a certain amount of SC every single month. And once they do that, they're done. That is a momentum killer to me. When I was in the I'm Here to Help group, as an example, when I realized I was averaging 100 SC points a month, and I said I need to put my money where my mouth was, and I go, I need to change this. The month before, I'd gotten 88 SC points. Not bad, right? And 88 SC points. When I started going back to the basics of inviting other people, because I have built attraction marketing and it has taken time, by going back to the basics, I increased my business from 1 month to the next by 175% and 150% on my average. By going back to the basics and inviting people. Why? Because so many people are going to sit there and watch you for a long, long time, and they don't have the nuts to come and reach out to you and say, can you help me? I couldn't ask for help. So I stay in the basics. So how much did I spend on ads? No more than $25 a day. And I don't run them all the time. I do actually boost posts. And people say, don't boost posts, a waste of money. Well, that puts me in front of a few more of my followers. And if it's an action post, it helps. So my ads and stuff, what they look like, by the way, are I make sure when they see that ad that they can relate. I'm looking to help people who are a few minutes behind me. So wherever I'm on my journey, because once I'm done with 80-day obsession, my booty's going to be so high and tight. It's going to be so high and tight. You know, it's going to open up my whole market. I'm ready because I'm a few minutes ahead of them.
You need to work that upper body to get there.
I know, right? To match. I was saying the interweb need to come up with a new peach,
I know.
Because right, like peach, because it's like it doesn't represent the booties being built in any day obsession.
We're so in love with this program, by the way, ladies. Oh my God, it's amazing. Total game changer.
Yeah, it's amazing. Okay, Amy.
Hi. Thank you for your energy. This has been really great. You're talking about your team, like if your coaches want training, they're going to get it and they're going to go after it. And that's something I feel like part of my, for lack of a better term, sales pitch. Like, hey, if you sign up as a coach, like we take you through the training, we give you the training, and we don't just leave you on your own. So that's the balance. Is I've signed up, handfuls of coaches, and I'm like, okay, like, are you going to start doing something? Like, of course, I've got like the 30-day training and stuff, but how do you get them to that point? Because really it's intrinsic. If they want it, they're going to go after it. I can't want it for them.
But you can create intrinsic habits, right? With practice. So I have coaching content. I have about 60 to 90 days of coaching content, depends. But my Facebook group is where you go and you practice. Okay.
Your team Facebook page?
In the Facebook page. But my content is on a third-party site. That's the way I did it. But you can use my challenge tracker or a Facebook group or whatever it is. But I have a place that they go into and I tell them what to expect. I also tell them, and I make it very clear, you guys, because I follow Shalene's get people out of the car email system. And people say, well, what's your script? What's your words? That question I don't like, and I'll tell you why. Because that makes it sound like the magic's in my words. And it's not. The magic isn't in what I wrote. The magic is in me creating relationships, getting to know them, getting to know their goals and struggles. How I say things doesn't matter because that's not what does it. I ask them before they reach out to me, if it's the attraction part of it, only reach out to me if you know me, like me, trust me. That's it. Because if you just want to kick my tires, hang out on social media, you can do that all day. But when you land in my inbox, now we're having a serious conversation. So when they get my email sequence, and by the way, I use BombBomb. I very much believe in BombBomb. If you haven't looked into BombBomb and video emails, I do it. I'll take a whiteboard. Hey, Melissa, blah, blah, blah. Some of my stuff is canned, yes, but I don't use a lot of canned scripting, if that makes sense. But I do in the beginning, and I tell them the expectation. The expectation is for you to read and watch all this stuff. And if you're just here for advice, here's a long list of all these social media links and my social media stuff and everything like that. You can spend years in there. You don't have to be a part of my group. Nobody ever leaves my group empty-handed if they say no, or if they're only there at my email or there to kick my tires. You need to tell me about your goals and struggles. And I tell you what I need to know about you. And as a matter of fact, when it comes down to the challenge pack, I don't have them select. I know by the end of the conversation whether they're going to sign up as a customer, and I do coach VIP. So don't do coach VIP. I don't agree. But if they say customer, I'm okay with that too. I know which one they're going to sign up for. I know what flavor of Shakeology, and that's right. Right now they're getting the what do you call it? Annual. All access. And I sell the Kickstart all day long because the total solution. Because my talents, my ability to help you transform are the solution in that box. And if you want the results I had, even my ups and downs and struggles and things like that, you are required to have that box because I won't have to coach you. And I'm here to coach you, not coddle you. These are the rules to be a part of my group. That doesn't work for you? That's okay. We can hang out here on social media. Nobody ever leaves empty-handed. But if you're going to somebody for them to help you and base off their results, you stand strong on who you are as you stand right now today. I don't care if you're over 350 pounds because you're there to help them, but you are not there to cuddle them. You're there to coach them. So that starts. So I try to get people out of my car because I only want the people who are going to bring the right energy to my group, not because they figure it out, not because life's good. Every woman because of my group is really, really, really broken. Really broken. But my Facebook group, there is zero negativity. There is zero Debbie Downers. There is no flaming. There is no feeling sorry for yourself. Everything has to be, if you have a struggle that's different, but you better try a solution or come up with a solution or have a game plan for the next time. Oh, and by the way, all my social media pages like that too. You will be hard pressed to find a troll on my pages. I'm a Scorpio. I will knock you down in the most loving way ever, but I will tell you, you are not welcome on my page. Period. Go. I protect my ladies fiercely.
My oldest is a Scorpio, and I totally know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So that's what I do. So I give them. So I hope that answered your question, Amy. So culture is really important. A sense of growth is really important. But notice, my husband really wants me to have about 6 months of training out, and I agree with him. However, once you've gone through the training, like your 30-day training of Amy. They should be going and practicing that. If it doesn't become intrinsic, then they aren't really doing it. And they should have struggles and battles and failures in the process to solidify that foundation. And when it becomes intrinsic, what's the problem that happens? You go into autopilot. That's where it gets dangerous. So now you realize, I've been driving and I passed, my exit was 5 exits ago. I'm shocked I didn't get in a car accident because I was in autopilot. So I do believe that struggle forces us to be present. And the struggle in dealing with that is how we earn progress through consistency and practice and struggle. That make sense? Does that help, Amy? Okay.
I think in my language, what I could say just to kind of, did we lose Tulin? Is she gone? Did I lose her somehow?
No, I'm here.
Oh, my screen changed all of a sudden.
Oh.
That really weirded me out. Sorry. I'm like, what just happened? Obviously, there's a lot of time. Talking to people takes time.
Yes.
Yeah? Right? So there's time. What she's saying is that also on just like in network marketing terms, kind of to answer both, I think, Amy and Jackie and Aubrey, is it's a funnel. It's a funnel. It's a funnel system. You're going to talk to the masses. You're going to weed people out through talking to them, essentially. Like, don't bend and waver to meet their wants. You're the coach. You stay with your system and you weed them through the funnel.
Yeah.
And then I also think probably, like she was saying, it's a little bit canned in the beginning, and that's kind of how it has to be, because you don't want, like, I didn't invite every new coach to this call who hasn't done anything yet, because I signed plenty of coaches last month who could be here, but they're not, right? Why? Because they haven't gone through the funnel to show that they deserved or earned the right to be here tonight. It would mean nothing to them. Do you see what
yeah, and you know what I do? I tell them this is a canned message. And if that's a problem for you, please understand this is so that I can create balance in my life. Because if I did a personalized message for everybody who comes through my inbox, I would have no time for my family. I would have no time for myself. I'm on a journey too. So I tell them that. And by the way, I don't necessarily set SC goals per se, but I don't go for SC goals. I receive them for helping people. So as long as I continue having conversations on a regular basis, I continue to receive SC. And as long as I continue to follow up with people, that amount grows, which is kind of what grew to 100 SC. And I'll tell you something. Well, this business, and I don't schlep challenge packs, okay? I really love my woman, and I really want to help her make a difference, and I really want to help make a change. And so I go to the ends of the earth to make that happen, almost to a fault. I want to be able to help more women. And that's why I give so much of my social media, because 99.9% of the people who watch it are never going to work with me, are your coaches. But I'm still willing to give, because it's about helping people on a greater scale. As a matter of fact, I've had coaches at Summit. Now listen, this is not always the way it goes, because sometimes people aren't honest, or like weird things happen, right? It actually happened with Melissa McAllister twice. And I'm like with 2 coaches in her downline, I'm like, oh my God. One lied to me, and she was a kooky one. And then,
oh yeah, we've got a few of those every month.
Yeah. And then there was another one. What was it? Oh, another really kooky one. And like, literally I had to protect the other coach. Like I had to go do a wellness check on this woman and protect the other, like it was nuts. Right. But I'm telling you, when people come to me and say, oh, but you're so real and you get it. And I'm like, I'm the biggest one in the group. They don't understand my struggle. I teach them that that's not the case. And have you talked to their and I send them back to their coach, and I give them the action steps. And I had coaches come up to me at Summit this year, and I'm sitting down in the elite section going, thank you so much. I had the most amazing conversation with that coach. Thank you so much for going out of your way and having that conversation. We have the greatest relationship now, blah, blah, blah. We're a team. We're Team Beachbody. I'm not out here to get as many SCs as I can possibly stuff in my pockets, but I'm gonna open my arms wider and my heart bigger to help more people. But I receive them. My checks are filled with thank yous.
Yeah, I love that. We're going to respect Tulin's time and let her check out. Quite honestly, it's probably time for you and me to eat, Tulin, because that's all we freaking
That's what just dingle-dangled on me. That was me saying eat.
I know, me too. I'm like, I know I have one more meal I have to eat before I can go to bed tonight. All we do on this 80-day program is eat, work out, and spend time in the bathroom.
Dude, it totally sucks. We have to eat all the time. And I am like the highest bracket of calories. And I'm like, I can't eat any more food.
No, I know. I never thought I could eat this much food in this amount of calories before in my life.
Never in a million years.
Ever. So Tulin and I have to eat, but can we please give her a round of applause? Is she not amazing, 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 amazing? Find her on social media, follow her, love her, love her, love her. And Tulin, I can't thank you enough for being on and graciously giving of your time tonight. We love you so much.
Of course. And we'll gossip later. We have to talk about whatever that thing, I think I know.
Oh, I know. We do have to gossip later. Vegetables.
Over our chicken, rice, and veggies. All right. Yeah. Bye, guys. You're welcome. I wish you guys all the best. No, it's all possible for all of us.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.